was good. He was top tier. I mean, me, I feel as though I could compete with any top fighter.
How close are you to that, being undefeated and unblemished with some big fights out there for you to get?
I can't really say right now because I'm still in the mix. Like I said, but hopefully when it's all said and done, I'll be one of them top great fighters. I mean, Floyd.
During an appearance on Stephen A. Smith's show, Gervonta Davis made a bold statement by saying he believes he would defeat Floyd Mayweather if the two ever shared the ring. Tank spoke with complete confidence and showed no hesitation when discussing a potential fight against his
28 knockouts, clearly one of the top 5 fighters on the planet, if not #1 in a lot of people's eyes.
Today, I'm always in a no-win situation. If I go out, I talked about this numerous times. If I knock him out in the first round, they're going to say it was a waste of our money. If I carry him, let him go a few rounds, they're going to say, oh, Floyd Mayweather couldn't knock this guy out. But people got to realize, I'm still retired, officially retired. But I didn't retire.
Former mentor. He also explained that his biggest goal is not simply to win more fights, but to build a legacy that places him among the greatest fighters in boxing history. Davis made it clear that he wants to remain at the top of the sport for as long as possible and continue proving that he belongs with the all-time greats. Stephen Smith spoke highly of Gervonta Davis and described him as one of the elite fighters. In boxing today, he pointed to several qualities that make Tank stand out from the rest of the competition.
The face of boxing for millions of people. He is boxing. When I talk to a lot of people, not the boxing people that I call them generals with no armies, because there's a lot of people in boxing that talk like they have an army behind them, but they don't have a following in any of it. Gervonta Davis today called out Floyd Mayweather, and I'll share with you the call out. And even if he called it out from his burner account, it still goes viral. It still ends up on World Star Hip Hop. It still ends up on all the sites, and it makes major news. Tank is not one to be streaming all day. He's not one to post all day on social media. So when he does post, people do listen and people gravitate towards him. When you're a real superstar, and I've been in Tank in different places, from malls in England to different businesses in Vegas. Here's the call out to Floyd. I'll get back to the popularity in a second. But Gervonta Davis, one of the best, if not the best pound fighter on the planet, says, I'll take Floyd too. Tell him to suit it up. Now, any fight you have Gervonta Davis involved in is already
including his outstanding footwork, IQ, timing, and ability to control the pace of a fight. According to Smith, those skills are often overlooked because fans focus so much on Davis's knockout power. He believes Tank has already earned his place among boxing's biggest stars and deserves much more recognition for the complete skill set he brings into the ring every time he fights. The situation became even more interesting when Gervonta Davis posted a message from his burner account that read, "Gunna, I'll take Floyd too. Tell him to suit up." The post immediately caught the attention of boxing fans and
now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like, talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
So what that got to do with you being, I guess, embarrassing? Like, because again, we seen you make posts on a story like the fight not
been fighting Mike Tyson. I'm sure that's going to do good. There's talks of him fighting Manny Pacquiao, waiting for more official announcement. And Floyd had an exhibition to go to in Greece. It got canceled, but I think a judge now cleared him to fight. And usually judges allow you to go make money. So that may be back on soon. We'll keep you guys posted. But here's Floyd Mayweather in London, moving around with Tank in the ring. This is before Tank became the mega superstar that he is today. And he still sold out the arena. He still was mobbed on the streets. And I have videos of, people just seeing him and going like they couldn't, in disbelief.
Led many people to believe Tank was serious about wanting a fight with Floyd Mayweather. Rather than responding with emotion, Mayweather stayed calm and explained that a fight with Davis would benefit him either way. Floyd pointed out that although he is retired from professional boxing, he is still able to entertain fans through exhibition fights while making substantial money. He also made it clear that his legacy is already secure, and because of the history between him and Tank, any fight involving the two of them would attract enormous attention and become one of the...
I'm going to be a con artist and a scammer, and 4 things. If you these 4 things, I want you to get the away from me. If you are a liar,
a thief, a rat, and a snake, then I definitely got to disconnect myself from you.
Former what? But why didn't you show up to the fight? It's public knowledge that Tank and Mayweather have had issues. It's public knowledge that they're not in the contract anymore. And it's public knowledge that Tank has moved on and is trying to, for the sake of words, separate himself from the umbrella of being under Mayweather. But Mayweather was there.
Wandering around. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he was running around. And I tried to say what's up. But Mayweather was there. Why wasn't... No. It wasn't because you wasn't trying to take away from a moment. It was because you weren't sure what that moment was going to look like at the end.
What about Joe Goose?
What about Joe?
He wasn't there.
What you mean? What? Oh, you mean like in the post-fight press conference?
Yeah. It was his dad, his manager.
So, but they were at the fight.
The biggest events in boxing Gervonta Davis has made it clear that he fully believes in his own abilities by openly calling out Floyd Mayweather. Tank feels he has reached the best stage of his career and is prepared to test himself against any opponent, regardless of their reputation. His confidence comes from years of impressive performances and knockout victories over high-level competition. Davis believes he is already one of the very best fighters in the sport, and he does not see any opponent as unbeatable. By mentioning Floyd Mayweather, Tank showed that legendary names do not intimidate him, and that he genuinely believes his current skills are good enough to compete with, and even defeat anyone who steps into the ring with him. Gervonta Davis believes there is no fighter better than him at this
point. Online.
I seen a little bit. Yeah, you know, I like both guys, so it's like I know Gervonta has his issues with Floyd, and Floyd has a big ego where he wants to be the man on top, and Gervonta trying to get on top, but it seemed like he has to get from under Floyd because Floyd's a big man. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard. It's kind of it kind of reminds me of me and my son. Like I kind of like got myself away and let him do his own thing and let him have his own glory, his own his own glory, his own life. You know what I'm saying? So me being there all the time will shadow over all this stuff. Sometimes. Not intentionally. I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm not trying to be like, I don't care about the Eagles. I want him to be the best. But me being too close to him all the time takes away a little bit of his shadow, a little bit of his shine. So I need to be, I'm still gonna tell him everything he needs to know. I'll get in the ring with him, spar with him, do all kinds of stuff. But he has
point in his career. He is confident that he could beat Floyd Mayweather because he spent years learning from him and studying the way he fights. Tank feels that his time around Floyd gave him valuable insight into Mayweather's defensive style, movement, and overall approach inside the ring. In his mind, understanding those habits better than most fighters would give him an important advantage if they ever met in a real fight. Whenever Gervonta Davis fights, the boxing world pays attention because he has become one of the sport's biggest attractions. His events consistently generate massive interest, produce strong pay-per-view numbers, and keep fans excited from the opening bell. Tank has earned that reputation through his explosive punching power, exciting fighting style, and ability to deliver spectacular knockouts. Supporters know that every time he steps into the ring, there's a real chance they will witness a memorable finish. That is why a potential showdown with Floyd Mayweather would create even more excitement. It would feature one of boxing's biggest current stars against one of the greatest champions the sport has ever seen, making it a matchup that would capture the attention of fans around the world. The biggest events in boxing Gervonta Davis has made it clear that he fully believes in his own abilities by openly calling out Floyd Mayweather. Tank feels he has reached the best stage of his career and is prepared to test himself against any opponent, regardless of their reputation. His confidence comes from years of impressive performances and knockout victories over high-level competition. Davis believes he is already one of the very best fighters in the sport, and he does not see any opponent as unbeatable. By mentioning Floyd Mayweather, Tank showed that legendary names do not intimidate him, and that he genuinely believes his current skills are good enough to compete with, and even defeat anyone who steps into the ring with him. Gervonta Davis believes there is no